Yeah. Hello guys. So before we start, I'm sorry for making this pretty late. I'm I just slept and the time here is basically different from your time. It's probably like morning for you guys, but in our case it's pretty much night. So I felt sleepy. So yeah. So let's just start the video. Hello guys, I am back from another video and today just come out what a deku was abandoned. So in the last video, Deku, that time in class, it was pretty much normal until, Izuku, well, saved everybody from being attacked by a villain. After that, Izuku and Team Ragnarok, even Vanessa was praised for that. But Bakugo started complaining, saying that Izuku shouldn't have saved us. As in saved us, I mean the class. Thinking that he's better than everybody and thinks that he's able to save them by himself. Everybody did just ignore them. So yeah. So Izuku also accidentally shown Kaminari his face. Kaminari started becoming more flirty. As she says this, I think your face is not ugly, and kissed Izuku on the lips, causing Izuku to basically get super flustered. And when it's finally nighttime and it's time for them to go to sleep, Izuku starts blushing a lot and covering his face with his pillows. So yeah, so let's talk about what happens next. So after being told that a festival was about to start tomorrow, everybody is basically excited except for Izuku and Team Ragnarok, including Vanessa. Izuku knows that probably some villains or some sort of like terrorist group will probably trying to attack them. So Izuku is basically getting ready for that event. So Izuku is basically getting several of his weapons ready, sharpening his kodachi, sharpening his broadsword, and calibrating his sniper rifle slash railgun. Izuku tells to himself, "I'm gonna shoot down these bastards. I'm gonna make them fucking pay for everything. If they try and attack anybody, I will make them pay." And yes, this is still an 18 plus series. So yeah. So while Izuku was doing that, Izuku felt somebody coming in. But Izuku doesn't know that presence. Izuku brings out this Kodachi and almost slashes the person's neck. As Izuku looks, as it's Jiro, she says this, "Oh, sorry about that. Um, Izuku, do you, want to train with me?" Izuku puts back his Kodachi. Izuku's still wearing his white mask. Izuku just nods his head up and down. As she says this, thanks. So, Izuku, while training, sees that, she's training on her lung capacity. Because if you don't know, her quirk is basically a sound quirk. So, the more she, let's just say scream, the more her attacks become stronger. So yeah, that's what her quirk basically does. So Izuku is basically training with her. While training, Izuku sees that she has two knives. Izuku points at her as Izuku thinks no girl has knives unless it's as she leers up with a creepy smile as She basically slashes Izuku a little bit across the mask, s- clearly while scarring the mask. And she says this, I can't believe that you actually fell for that. She starts transforming back into a girl with blonde hair and unusual golden eyes in the shape of a. It basically, she has like cat like eyes. She's bringing out two large knives. As she says this, my name is Himika. I'm from the League of Villains. So, you must be Izuku from Team Ragnarok. You really are a cutie. I especially love those bulging muscles. I can't wait to have your blood. As she starts charging and getting ready to slash at Izuku again. But before she can slash Izuku brings out this sniper rifle and shoots her point blank range. As she says this, dang it. I knew I should have called in reinforcements at that time. As Izuku says this. Actually, he doesn't says that. He only said it in his mind. Anybody that tries to attack me will pay dearly. Izuku kicks her into a wall as Izuku calls Vanessa and the rest of the heroes. So the rest of the heroes arrive as they see Izuku um holding a girl by the neck. As All Might says this, wait, what are you doing with that girl? Izuku says nothing. Izuku um throws it at them. That girl, by the way. As Vanessa says this, oh, I'm guessing that's Intruder. Izuku nods his head up and down. As she says this, so, I'm guessing that you work for the League of Villains. Now, hey, Aizawa, maybe bring her to the authorities. Try and interrogate her. As she says this, what a great idea, Vanessa. So, she starts like screaming, saying, I'm gonna get you for this, I'm gonna freaking kill you, including you. I'm gonna make sure that you're dead. I'm gonna make sure that your blood shall be mine. So, she gets arrested as she goes to jail. So wait for a second, guys. So after that whole thing, they started going back to their normal routines until Izuku was getting ready to go back to sleep. So after getting to his dorm room, Izuku sees well Izuku sees Jiro. Izuku starts to use his well it's like his quirk sight, yeah. He starts using his quirk sight to basically start seeing if it's the real Jiro. Izuku was right. It is the real Jiro because when Izuku realized that girl was Toga, Izuku looked at her quirk and it just said a doppelganger quirk, or should I just say wait for a second, shapeshifter quirk, which was weird. So Izuku um basically just tells her to basically get out of the room because it's not her dorm room. And she says this, oh, this is actually gonna be my dorm room as well. So I'm guessing we're gonna become roomies, I guess. Izuku thought, oh yeah, I heard I heard that well wait for a second again. Nezu's going to bring two girls to basically basically stay with me. As she says, so I guess we're going to be roomies with with Kaminari now. So Kaminari gets out of the well gets out of her well her all of her training, and she says this, "Hey Zuku, do you want to?" As she sees Jiro, as she says, "So Jiro, what are you doing here? Are you gonna be going back to your dorm room?" And she says this, "Yeah, this is my brand new dorm room." Wait for a second. So, after, Kaminari being told that she's going to become, Izuku's brand new roommate right next to her, she says this, "You're going to be staying with us, right?" As she says this, "Yeah, why?" As she says this, "I don't want you to try and get in the way of me and Izuku being together. So, don't even try." And she says this, "What are you talking like that, Kaminari?" And she says this, "Oh, nothing." She goes back to her fun-loving self. As she says, "Alright, guess we're going to be going to sleep now, Izuku. Good night." She blows a kiss at Izuku, flustering Izuku because, Izuku remembers that night. As, um, well, Jiro was, confused, but also, quite jealous because she's wondering what's under Izuku's mask. So Izuku takes off his mask and basically covers himself by using his blanket. So when they started going to sleep, well, Jiro decides to fake sleep. When it's basically like midnight, she starts going to, Izuku's bed and tries to, take off the blanket. When she's about to see Izuku's face, Izuku was wearing the white mask. As she says, "What?" As Izuku grabs her by the hand, as Izuku just glares at her. And she says this, "Oh, um, I just wanted to see what's under your face." As Izuku just sighs. Izuku just, well, take, unhands her. Izuku just goes back to sleep, but wearing the mask. And she says this, "God dang it." But Jiro was still also wondering why did Izuku just got flustered when, why Izuku got flustered when, well, Kaminari did that. Anyway, so yeah. So, the next day comes as it's the festival. Everybody's basically going around, basically just like several venues with like, food, games, and other that. And yes, this is still an 18 plus series, so I can swear whenever I fucking want. So YouTube, don't you dare. Okay? So she starts actually she starts it's wait for a second. Vanessa starts walking around with the rest of Team Ragnarok. So Izuku was walking around as Tristan says this, "Hey boss, um are you not uncomfortable with this?" As Izuku just sighs. As we pan out to see, Izuku is being, locked arms with, Kaminari and also Jiro. Mineta is pretty much, jealous at Izuku. But not go because he thinks that Izuku's better than him. Just because, well, Izuku has like two girls fighting over him. He literally wants to kill Izuku because of that. Thinking, I'm fucking better than him. Not, I'm fucking better than him. Not, I just, I'm supposed to be the one that's brave. I want him to suffer. So, yeah. So, after walking around the whole venues, they started getting some food. In Izuku's case, he gets, Well, some wait for a second. Izuku gets ramen with with just instead of like the regular old toppings, Izuku gets like just the eggs because Izuku loves the eggs. So Izuku starts slurping them up, including the noodles, because Izuku has some time of like if it's like an event, Izuku is decides to bend his morals and decide to eat some of the food there, even some that are a little bit like junk food. As for well for Kaminari, she says this. Ah, I'm guessing that's Izuku's favorite food, right, Vanessa? She says this. Yeah, pretty much. Izuku absolutely loves ramen. As Izuku just stops eating, as Izuku puts back the bowl. So, Izuku wipes his face. As before Izuku gets ready to his face, like it's before Izuku wipes his face. Well, Jiro comes up to Izuku as she says this. Izuku, I got a towel for you. As Izuku grabs it and Izuku basically just um well um wipes his face. Izuku just nods his head and basically says thank you. As for Kaminari, she starts getting a little bit jealous. So it's they started going to the arena. Apparently there's going to be a special surprise. And this surprise is something of an event. As they see several of the third years basically doing a dance number. Izuku doesn't doesn't really like musicals all that much, but Izuku sometimes listen to punk rock music most of the time, and the song that they were singing is basically like those popular pop songs, which I seriously don't like, especially if it's like per se like a famous song. Not like a famous song, like the like a recent a recent song, like for example, um, what's a recent? I don't know. Maybe like for say like Justin Bieber or something like that. Izuku just doesn't like it. Izuku just endures it a little bit longer, but don't put that out of context. Anyway, while watching it, Izuku senses something as one of the students gestures another one. Izuku thinks is weird. After the whole like musical thing, they bow down as they say, I hope all of you first years a really happy and great show. And also, you team Ragnarok. It's nice to see you all. Huh. You're absolutely great in your battles, even saving the first year. I can't wait to see you again soon. Wait for a sec. Izuku was just seeing them talk. Izuku sees a sniper rifle pointed at the head of All Might. Izuku tells Tristan about it. As Tristan starts going over there, using his porcupine court to get ready to shoot at the assailant. For Rose, she was told that she's going to be attacking these other villains which Izuku sees. These villains are about to get ready to attack all of the students. As Izuku starts getting ready, Izuku starts using his electricity to go at supersonic speeds to go outside. The outside, Izuku sees several filled with villains, and one of them was well unusual. It's a man with a bird-like mask. It's basically like a plague doctor mask, but half it. Izuku was weirded out by it. So, he basically says this: alright, get any students and kill them all. I want them to suffer. I want UA and the rest of the world to feel the power of the Yakuza. Because I am Overhaul. I want them to make their so called future heroes suffer their sins. So, wait for a second. So, Izuku brings out a sniper rifle. As Izuku gets ready to shoot down, Overhaul, Izuku lowers his breath. As in lowers, he kind of stops breathing because he needs to get a precise shot. As when Izuku takes the shot, it shoots Overhaul across the jaw, destroying his jaw. As he says this, "What the hell? Who shoot me?" As he looks, as DC, one of the members of Team Ragnarok, Zuko starts, dropping down and uses his ice broadsword to basically start slashing at the other villains, or Overhaul's goons. As he says this, "Kill them all!" As they start charging in at the arena, as in the arena, the thing, or the stage, or whatever. They started charging and getting ready to kill all of the students, but the students are basically getting ready for them. As they say, boss, it seems that we're overwhelmed here. Oh shit! As Overhaul gets static from his um earpiece, as he says this, what the hell happened? As he starts getting angry. Wait for a second. As he says this, you ruin everything. As he says this, no matter. I'll just let my daughter have some fun with you. So, Izuku, pure white hair, red eyes. She seems to be a little bit older. Maybe about early 20s or 18. Izuku can tell. She also is wearing a assassin type suit. Izuku checks out her quirk. Izuku, after checking out her quirk, it's called Rewind. Izuku checks it out as Izuku is kind of amazed. And yes, that's Eri. So Aries are going to be a little bit older. As a little bit, I mean a lot. So she's like, 18. So Izuku's a little bit younger than her, like about 1 year 1 year younger than her. As she says this, "Don't worry, father, I'll defeat him." So she cracks her knuckles. As she says this, "Can't wait to beat you." So she starts charging in at Izuku. Izuku wielding his kodachi and his broadsword. Izuku slashes at her a little bit. As she says this, "No matter what you do, it's easy for me to heal." She starts healing from her wounds. Izuku was interested and also amazed by her quirk. As he says this, "You really think that you can ever beat her? She's one of my daughters." As Izuku thinks, one of. As Izuku starts dodging her a little bit. As Izuku brings out this um his sniper rifle and gets ready to shoot her. As she decides to do this, she licks her lips. So she starts coming up to Izuku, walking. As she says this, "Nothing personal." So wait for a second. So this is going to be in this perspective of other people. As in other people, I mean Kaminari. After she defeats all of these thugs, she starts going over there to the outside, thinking that Izuku was over there. And also Jiro was coming with her, saying, "Jiro, what are you doing?" says Kaminari. As Jiro says this, I'm gonna be coming with you. I want to see if Izuku's was. I'm just. I want to check if Izuku was okay. And yes, um, Eri is going to be a ship. Which, don't you dare think that I'm like, whatever. A. I'm not gonna say it because it's also restricted. Anyway, she's basically wait for a second again. She's worrying about Izuku and thinking that Izuku probably might get attacked or get hurt. So, Izuku, as in Izuku, I meant Kawanari starts going over there as she sees Izuku fighting. Well, Eri, which Eri's still going to be older and maybe one of the ships, and I mean one of the ships. So, if you want to just comment down below. So wait for a second again. So let's go back to Izuku's perspective. So after Eri starts leaning in, she kisses Izuku right on the lips, doing tongue, as she says this. Now, how do you feel about that kiss? Izuku starts blushing a little bit. Unfortunately, his mask is a little bit broken from that attack. So, Izuku starts blushing a lot. But Izuku is still wielding his Kodachi, creating his water katana, getting ready to slash at her again. And she says this, She disappears. As she reappears, and Izuku gets kicked in the back. As wait for a second again. Sorry about that. So after Izuku gets kicked in the back by Eri, or at least the older version of Eri, which Eri is 18. I just want to remind you that again. So this is not going to be anything dirty. As in dirty, I mean basically Izuku is going to be shipped with a older version of Eri. So just don't think that I'm like whatever. It's just an idea that I got in back in the day. So Izuku after trying to slash at her with his Kodashi, Izuku gets kicked in the back again. As she says this, you really think that you can ever beat me? After all, I've been trained by one of the best elites in the Yakuza. As for overhaul, he says this, that's my daughter. One of my best. After all, you are the leader of this group I created. As he starts laughing, Kaminari is completely mad because, the only person that's allowed to kiss Izuku is her and her alone. So, she their attacks as she gets over there to overhaul. Also, Jiro was also coming with her. So, Jiro uses her scream to basically burst a little bit of overhauls ear. As in one of her as in one of his ears, it burst one of his eardrums. As Kaminari uses her electricity to basically pierce his chest a little bit. As in pierce his chest, I mean causing him to basically start pumping his blood more because it's basically like an electric chair. She learned that from Izuku. As she starts creating a lightning hammer, as she says this, take this, Thor's punishment. As she slams it onto the face of Overhaul, instantly defeating him. As in instantly while knocking him out. So, after that whole thing, Eri also sees that as she says, "No, father!" As Izuku gets the distraction that he needs and sees her. So, as the heroes arrive, as wait for a second. So, the rest of the heroes basically arrive as they see Izuku, Kaminari, and Jiro defeated. all of these, well, villains. As, wait for a second, again. Rose says this. Huh, I didn't know that you girls actually defeated, well, this elite group, the Yakuza. As Tristan says this. Dang, I can't believe you actually beat them. That's actually quite fucking impressive. Even for me. Bakugo, wait. So, Bakugo also sees this. Bakugo thinking, these extras really think that they are better than me? Oh, sweet lord. He starts getting angry as Bakugo thinks, I should be better than them. I'm supposed to be the one that's getting praised. So, wait for a second again. Nezu starts praising, all 5 of them for saving everybody. As in all 5, including, well, I meant all 6 because, well, there's also Vanessa that also helped. So, because of that, they were told that they're going to be going back into their dorm rooms because they're going to be having a special surprise soon. So, yeah. So, after Izuku gets back to his dorm room, Izuku starts taking off his mask again. After doing that, well, Izuku sees, he sees Jiro. Jiro says this. So, that's what your face looks like. I think it's quite adorable. As Izuku sees Jiro, Izuku didn't notice her. As she says this. Anyway, Izuku, can I ask you something? Izuku stopped covering his face a little bit. Izuku decides to, what do you call it? Let his guard down a little bit. As Izuku doesn't, talk to her, but gestures to her that Izuku is allowing it. And she says this. Good. So, she starts pushing Izuku to the bed. As she starts, going up Izuku's bed. As she says this. I think you're absolutely adorable, Izuku. And Izuku, I wanted to ask. Are you in love with, me? Or anything like that? And if you say no, guess I'll never forgive you for that. So, she starts taking off a little bit of her clothes. Izuku, it basically starts blushing a lot. As before she can do anything else. Kaminari opens the door and sees both of them getting ready to going on. I meant about to getting it on. She starts getting angry. So yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. So yeah, I hope you liked the video. Comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.